I want to go through artists who this year made notable impressions on me to an extent where I want to put them up there as my artists of the year. I want to do this list because I think there's a lot going on in the country that goes unsaid that I really think needs more of a light to shine on. South Africa right now is busy going through what I think is a bit of a creative renaissance. We are experiencing a whole lot that is forcing us to dig deep, but the world is also going through the kind of cultural shifts that I think we're taking from. We're learning how to reinvent ourselves slowly but surely. And I think there's a lot of amazing artists right now who are, for me, the benchmark for South African artistic courage. My top 5 artists of the year. It's the Headspace. We want to close it off. Ngendlela that appreciates everything we've been through in this year. And these are just some of the people. I can only name 5 for now because, well, time. But these are artists who, for me, are a window into why there's still so much possible in this country with music and creativity. Let's go into it. The first artist I want to appreciate is a young rapper by the name of Tsego Santana.
I'm more grounded than Santiago Panele Cement. I'm from a bloodline of the Kosi. Bukoni Bupirima. Makatale Bafuruti Gemadlozi. The kingdom that I hail from King Zira. Dirataka Dikasenkoni. Gitete Kosi. Gitamaya Limudimo. Gisniman says repose on Jakam Kosi. Frandia Besa Haiti Gemadobi. Margelati Site Sakamara Bakete Baisan Tongwe Bovu.
Santana epitomizes one of my favorite things about hip-hop, charisma. I don't think you can be a good rapper if you don't have charisma. And by that I mean tapping into what is amazing about you and finding a way of taking your own personal journey and showing us why it is uniquely a blessing but an honor to be who you are in this moment. Tsego Santana represents for me so much of what I believe is possible in the context of rap when rappers stop being so fearful of not getting hit singles, when rappers stop being so fearful of experimenting cross genre and breaking the norm of what you're allowed to rap on. He can flip into a beat that is piano influenced and switch back to a trap sound. He has an amazing sense of humor that I think shines through his music. It's turn up, but it's also quaint. It's more than just entertaining. It's profoundly and surreally exciting. To listen to his music is like a jolt of energy. Definitely one of my favorite artists of the year and somebody who I think is adding some needed spice, man, in the color of SA hip-hop right now. Shout out to Tsego Santana. We pause up, bro. Fan of the music. Can't wait to see how he develops it. And I really, really can't wait to find people who hold on to him in a way that allows for natural collaboration. Because I think also artists don't operate in a vacuum. Collaborate, guys. Find meaningful bonds and let's make amazing music to change the country in ways that shift the culture.
It's 420, baby, let's smoke. She like me, I can't have no fun without a drop. Dox Santana. What you want, ice to pay? Man, close a bitch, the more relaxed one, the more reserved one. When I trip out, she's like, I'll away. How are you a rapper when you even barely have money? I'm like, ain't my me, industry, que ma se ba bampa de jo. Santilala, the spirit of Ricky inside of us. See glucotini blood, cheese boy, ya say look sheeny blood, Joe. She like, why you always rap about me slightly? What do you take me for? I'm my sister. Yeah, my sister, what are we? We familiar. Stop asking me questions, putting me on a spot. I gotta stop raw dogging. Next time I do catch, I don't know,
My second favorite artist of the year has got to be a brother by the name of Frank Apollo. Check him out. He has a channel on YouTube where he and his wife have been curating some of the most incredible South African neo soul sounds that have a niche that is growing into a cult following. They allow us to see this budding, emerging scene through a selection that shows you the best of what we have right now. He himself dabbles in the music, having had released a project this year that I also feel was incredibly noteworthy. This is somebody who I think is spearheading and championing this sound in a way that's showing us uba Sinswambu and that neo soul is a world that we are exploring deeply and adventurously. So excited to hear what keeps happening in the scene with artists that are doing their thing. But no doubt, Frank Apollo, he's the guy right now. Check him out. And I can promise you that if you're somebody who loves music that is devoid of the need to pander to capitalistic brand placement, music that is just music for music's sake, music for touching us where we can change, where we can appreciate ourselves, and where we can go on a journey with the music. Another favorite artist of the year gotta be Dox The Maverick.
Let the debris bless my pure soul with character. God sent the winds of change came with the marathon. It's all about it, never ends. Less traveled in search of gold. I was headed home, I was on the road. Wasn't bored, penny for thoughts. Nickels and dimes came with the dawn. For extending had no options, but to get it was a chrome. Soul searching, postupedic, anti-narcoleptic niggas gon' regret it. I'm a divine appendage, they just love to hit it. Neo Matrix, nah, cumulus independent. Every bad boy needs a cynic beneath who 10 toes down. Nothing happening lows, among I. And a daddy nikes too.
Dox The Maverick is a lyricist. He's an MC who I think if we're looking at when rappers understand how to shift gears while still maintaining a consistency, which is, deceptively difficult. To be able to not do the same thing to such an extent that it's almost like you've outdone yourself is a rut that I think a lot of artists find themselves in. Like when you get that creative burst, sometimes it can be very difficult to find out what happens next. Sometimes ideas have a bit of distance between each other that can be very risky. And I think that's why you'll notice that the curse of the debut album is something where artists drop and there are so many musicians who are cursed with living up to the first project because so many people treat art like a time capsule where they're trapped in the place of the art that holds the most memory for them, that they can trap the artist in that. There's so many people who expect musicians to deliver the same thing that is based on what they loved about the artist before. And I think also, Francis Beg, we need to call ourselves out as an audience and not put artists in this predicament, because when you look at Dox The Maverick, he's one of those artists who doesn't give a shit about that. He allows himself to grow through the ideas, to evolve at his own pace. And I must say that that is the approach that allows you to be free, to be the kind of artist you don't know you can be. Because truthfully, sometimes there isn't a big grand vision of where artists see themselves. There's just art. And day to day, growing with your art. And you can feel that through man's raps, the topics, the subject matter. He's part of the expressionist rap movement for me. What I call the expressionist rap. The kind of rap that is there to be more than just direct words that describe a scene, but to rap in a way where the words themselves are a layer. There's so much more that meets the ear, the eye, that you connect to it on a level that feels like a real tangible work of art. Like when you look at a painting, it is not only great in the moment, time ages it in a way that allows you to see it in a different way as you grow with it. And I think rap is in this beautiful place where rappers are making the kind of music that is deliberately trying to age itself like fine wine, maturing over time. So much of rap is characterized by youthfulness that we tend to forget that we're all going to grow old. And I think there's something that I like to call adult contemporary rap that is creeping into the foreground because, god damn it, hip hop is an elder now. And most of the rappers we grew up listening to are in their late 40s and 50s and 60s. We are literally at that age and at that place in rap where even if you're young, thinking about how your music will mature over time is, I think, something a lot of artists forget to do. Shout out Dox, he is doing that for me. Check out the music, it's incredible. Definitely one of my artists of the year. Check him out.
If they can hear it, they gon' feel it. So coherent in a barren land full of rappers trash, doing big numbers all summer, being laid in hand grenades. The game is ugly. Nobody wanna be themselves. These niggas wanna be what sells. Guqa got him so compelled. Got the whole ecosystem sounding like my daddy. Yeah, should've known better than to kiss and tell. Now the jig is up, the real is coming up. You all in gawk, I'm changing diapers. All my sons gon' feel the presence. Santa Claus without a smoke, popping out the chimney. Parting seams of fabric cheap. You niggas cloth not off these jeans. This shit is different. Get close to tell it talk. When they talk, I wait before I did it on wax. On horn. Nisa horn and ilele pasopi kocha. Sanu koka. You know where you got your source from. Yeah.
The following artist is somebody who I have listened to and watched grow in ways that inspire me personally. When you see an artist who understands what might have been the limitations of their art at a particular point, it's very rare you find artists who are willing to ask themselves, how can I be better? Because so many times musicians are trapped in this despondency where it's like, I'm the shit, I'm dope, and whatever I do is dope, which is a healthy attitude to have. But to be able to critique your own art and find out how you can continue to be dope is, I think, one of the secret ingredients that separates the fly-by-nights from the real consistent artistry. The rapper formerly known as Hishaam, who now goes by uZibu, is somebody who, even in the namesake, took the opportunity to reflect on how to remix himself, upload himself, update himself. Because goddammit, just like the apps on our phone, we're living in a world that is continuously inviting us, if not forcing us, to update ourselves. Life forces you to update yourself, just culturally. So musically, it's always a breath of fresh air to hear the kind of artists who understand how and where to update themselves. Hish went from a cryptic rapper with a leaning into the emphatic tabs, Tumi Molekane-esque poeticism.
Stutter poems and notes to new vices. Thunder and assumption bruise your blue Nikes. Hundreds of us confuse the two, right? So I'll shimmy when the city reduces fuel prices. Can't cut a rug but prove to move like chairs. Buttery utterance punctuated and timeless. Deep space, Hunter becomes the moon's nightmare. I wonder if the mothership knew we grew time here. Guess not. Sentences text watch how I benefit from everything on your desktop. Bonnie Rubble made it right back to bedrock, but my body double made imaginary friends doc. Right in the bread box, right time, wrong melody, ain't got to be kidding me, the enemy ain't us. Still trying to figure just where the hate was.
To an MC who's groove first, heart second, and inspired by how to streamline himself to a place that's minimal enough to be understood to a greater audience, but still has that core Zibu effect from the days of Hishaam when he released How to Make Imaginary Friends.
Shoot at my shot, I ain't never gonna change. Wake up in the morning with money on the brain, but sometimes Ran from your heart, never wanted this pain. I confronted my love and I was under your gaze. I will never ever feel this feeling again. Never gon' love me, never gon' hate. Back in the clubs, they love me, I'm saved. Stood by a hospital bed and I prayed. Waiting for the moment when everything changed. Turn a new leaf, I'ma turn a new page. Just a little something else coming up strange. I just want love, little something, my main. Running my lane. I'm a hunter, I'ma fuck it up, wait.
He released a project called Leaving Las Palmas, which is a testament to his past and to his present, and I think to elements of where he wants to be in the future. Exciting artist, somebody who's also showing us how to mature in artist form, in creative form, in rap form. Don't be afraid to grow old, Majid. It's a beautiful thing. The last artist of the year for me is somebody who we've spoken about on the podcast numerous times, just sheerly because of his prolific body of work. This is a brother who is not afraid to just drop a lot in a year and to kind of just dump everything in his spirit out into the world and to allow us as listeners to go on this journey of where he wants to go as a rapper. MPONDO is an MC who is growing to become an enigmatic figure with a cult following that uniquely sets him apart from most rappers because he's a myth.
I'm a god at this. When I conjure this, no paga. So papa please, it's a paga. Mugukanda shis. Umutu mazangwa. But then again, what do you expect from Ulangwa, who is blessed with the tongue of Ichangwa? Not Ikwati, Ripori Party, Bizatina, Sisobachukuzisa, Kekufishna, Bisto, Nipeturisla, I should pesa. This folk who don't want it, son, you got weak lungs, Uzoba, Sukufisa, Ikete, Aingagawa, Uzofela, Ubukawi.
So many people ground their music in aesthetic that it kind of loses the allure of the story of who they are. MPONDO realizes that very rich folk tradition of turning yourself into more than the story of you. He is a figure who I think is mentioned in South Africa in the same way that people might talk about an MF Doom. A figure who the music speaks more than the actual personal life, and that he has successfully prescribed and conscribed a way to market his music where you don't necessarily care who he is personally, because the persona of MPONDO is something that has taken on a life of its own. He is an extraordinary writer, somebody whose wit, who is tapping into places that are conversational. Love when rappers rap in ways that feel like they are actually trying to talk with you and not necessarily talking at you. When a rapper understands that if you are sitting down or even standing up or walking or moving or jogging, listening to music can turn into something that is projected into a sphere of spirit, where you are connecting with the song on more than just the level of how it sounds. You are actually being taken on a journey by the artist, the kind of soundscape they choose, what they talk about. You could literally find yourself in another world. And MPONDO's music takes you there. He's not afraid to be a world builder. His music is a multiverse. He's a fucking MCU walking rapper. And I think that is what makes MPONDO right now probably one of the most culturally significant rappers in the South African hip-hop scene, because he's taking it to a place that reminds us that, I mean, if you're gonna rap, turn the normal things into the extraordinary things. We tend to project so high in the realm of fantasy that we forget that something as simple as brushing your teeth, something as simple as taking a walk, is a magical experience. And MPONDO talks about the mundane in ways that allow us to just see how weirdly profound it all is.
Hands, what a deeper. Don't make skibala yes keeper. Use hands more than deeper. If the detergent is deterring, that's occurring cause of bleach. Reach for the green bar. Skin commonly will itch if it feature harsher made ingredients. Before you speak out, caution on who listening, cause they extend an ear, but they don't really care.
A rapper of a generation, somebody who I think is going to be mentioned in pretty much the same breath that we talk about legendary rap icons like the Pro Kids. And this might sound like supreme glazing, but I am saying this because the man is literally reminding us that rap is storytelling. You're not only telling your story, you're telling everybody's story. So he knows how to embody not only himself, but to dissolve and to just not be there, where it's just a narration taking you on places that exist, feel familiar, but places that also are just so strange and surreal. MPONDO is a generational talent, an incredible MC, and an entertaining dude, and one of my artists of the year.
Jesus, take the wheel. Or maybe Vin Diesel. Like we blood family or friends since preschool. My plan felt dismally. I had it all mapped out. Go down this road, make a left, but it went south. I doubt I'm qualified to advise regarding life. I made a mess of mine, my mind ain't no guiding light. But if you ask, then fine, I will steer you to the bushes. Meet you there, trying to start a fire using 2 sticks. Not enough friction, burning up pistons is a crash dummy. Speeding not smart enough to listen to the voice saying, bro, I think this is a setup.
That's been my list, and I think if you notice anything about this list, it's underappreciation. We do not appreciate artists enough. We interact with them online in ways where they often appear to be the beggar to our money. And this relationship that capitalism positions, where we feel musicians are doing themselves a service of catering to us, gives us a bad relationship with art and artists. We are not here to become investors in artists. We are here to be part of a journey of people who are vulnerable enough to share deep parts of themselves with us. And so I think when we critique, when we analyze, when we hate on artists, when we love artists, we tend to so easily forget that these are people with very complicated lives like ours. And it takes a lot of guts to make any kind of art. So before you want to kind of, easily run your mouth about the value of art, consider every work of art comes from a place where that person had to work incredibly hard to try and understand how to translate what's in their heart in ways that are acceptable enough to be shared with the world. And so I think in our appreciation of music, we deeply underappreciate the musicians who give us this music, because we think, they need us to live. And they do. Because the setup is that of a transaction. But the value of what they give is incredibly priceless. And it deserves the respect of shouting people out and letting the artists know that we see them. This is why this list was so important for me. These lists are important to me because very rarely online do we see love. Everybody be trying to rage bait. I am trying to happy bait. I am trying to get us to a place where we yank each other into places where we can show love. This is me showing love to music that I think has shown the country love, to artists that I think are showing us how to love. So maybe this is the year-end note for the Headspace. Thank you so much for the love. We've grown immensely in ways that are slow, steady, but exciting. The Nasty C video did numbers because it came from love. And I think, agree with me, don't agree with me, but I know you feel the love. And if you're here to move on this love train with us, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We are people who are concerned with the culture, you know, where it's going, and some of the things that are being overlooked in the overconsumption of pop aesthetic and many of the things that we tend to see most of the time. So shout out to all of y'all who keep watching, who keep liking, who tell people to subscribe, who share the videos. The love has been amazing. And if I mentioned an artist that you did not know, if I forgot an artist who you felt deserved to be here, continue the conversation on the comment section. We always try our best to have that interaction going. It's VJ, the brother from the ancient mother, and Say Eli. We're still going to be at this. Shout out for love.